I mean, he literally might be 1 in a billion, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
It's math. It's statistics. Somebody has to be the best. And you're thinking, well, no, everyone's 1 in a million. No, but who do you think you're going to notice on social media? Are you going to notice all the average people? Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going over the ultimate fake natty based back workout, or alternative title, 3 in a million back workout. Whether or not you believe that these guys are natural, it doesn't matter. The Rock knows it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
Because what you can learn is how to properly train your back. And so we're going to go over this science-based routine. I'm going to critique their form. Do they know what they're doing? And hopefully by the end of it, you'll be better equipped at training your back.
Today I am with the godfather of science. You like the title?
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's all right.
And he's going to be taking me through his back workout. And I also have probably the craziest kid I've ever seen.
And so we got the godfather of science, Jeff Nippard, and we've got Julian, who I do believe is the most criticized fake natty of all. And why is that? Well, because he has so much muscle that people find it hard to believe that he did it while being natural. Remember, I originally thought he was a fake natty, but then I went over his blood work, which was in fact unannounced, and he passed. And lo and behold, a month later, Jeff Nippard surprise drug tested him and he passed yet again. And so what do you want me to say? I know what you want me to say. He's a fake natty. He cycled off. If he cycled off, his muscles, they would start to get smaller. They haven't gotten smaller, and so there is no explanation. He's 1 in a billion. And you're thinking, what are the odds of this? 3 guys with such amounts of muscle, all in the same place at the same time. It's very, very high. People have cameras, they post all their photos, and so it's easy to see who's the best of the best. You look throughout the globe and say, who's got the greatest natural physique at age 19? And it's Julian. There you go. What more is there to say?
I think any back workout needs a vertical pull and a horizontal pull.
100% correct. When I do my back, I almost entirely do pull downs and rows. I hardly do anything else. Perhaps some serratus lat pullovers, but that's about it. You don't need a lot more. Remember, I train my entire body twice a week.
You're looking lean, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm excited for the pose down.
And so Jeff is in fact looking highly sus. Remember, so many people think that Jeff is a fake natty, but I've done my videos on him in the past and he's 100% natural. Did you all know that he lost 30 pounds to get down to 155 right now? Jeff is 5'4" 3/4. He's been training almost his entire life. He has great genetics and he's 155 pounds. Why can't he have that much muscle? He can. That's how he can.
You have to enjoy it, I feel like. If you're not enjoying the workouts,
100%.
you're going to tend to not do
That's probably the most optimal thing you can do is find a program you like.
I 100% agree. People often talk about what's the optimal workout. What do you have to do? How many sets? How many reps? It depends. And I tell people the optimal workout is the one that you enjoy and that you can do for the rest of your life. It's not stagnant. It's what you like doing. Because if you don't like doing it, what are the odds you're going to continue to do it for years to come? The people who have amazing physiques, one thing they have in common is they're consistent. If you only train for 6 months and then take 6 months off, you're going to go up and you're going to go down. But those who can go at it day after day, week after week, for years, they're going to have the best physiques.
And then I do strap in. Some people say that's not optimal, but for me, I don't want my grip to limit my back gain.
100% agree that if you are limited by your grip, you should use straps. You don't want to fail on a lift, whether it's bent rows, seated rows, chin-ups, and so on, because your grip can't hold on. You need to train close to failure, assuming that you're an intermediate or advanced lifter. And so if you can't hold on, get some lifting straps to help.
How do you feel about reps in reserve, Hussein?
I don't believe in reps in reserve.
No?
I go to
all right, well,
failure
let's see a freaking no reps in reserve.
Okay.
I'm like Hussein. I don't think you should train with reps in reserve. If you do, you're likely not training hard enough. However, this caveat, if you're a beginner, if you just started going to the gym, or you're just getting back into the gym, or you just came back from a layoff, you were injured, sick, whatever, you can leave reps in reserve. you don't need to train to failure. But if you've been training for a long time, you really need to push yourself. One thing that almost all guys with amazing physiques have in common is that they train very hard. There are exceptions, but if you don't train very hard, you're not pushing to failure. You have to make up for that with volume. And so take your pick. Would you rather do a few hard sets with a tremendous amount of effort, or do set after set after set going half-ass? Both methods work. Pick the one that you want. Remember when I said earlier, the one that you enjoy? If you like doing 10 sets half-ass versus doing 2 sets all out, well, choose the one that's best for you.
Like I said, godfather of science now.
Come on. We'll talk about that.
And technically, 0 reps in reserve, that's how he always trains. It's how I always train. And most of the time, I'm going to failure and beyond. I like to do long-range partial reps at the end of the movement. And so if I'm pulling down behind my back or doing chin-ups, I'll continue to pull until I can't do anymore, and I'll do half reps. I don't want to stop. The same applies for almost any exercise.
Do you think you could do more reps? And he said, no, I don't think I could.
Ooh. What's my RIR on that, Mike? 12. No way. You think I had 12 more reps on that set?
I remember that video and I'm like, is he just trolling him? Yeah, you had 12 reps in reserve. If the gun was to your head, you could have done more. No, there's only so many you can do. You can't just will yourself to do more. There's your max and there's your max. Your max is your max. That's it. And so when I tell people, I always used to say this, I've been saying this for decades. How hard did you go? I went all out. And I said, for $1,000 for each and every rep, could you have done another rep? Oftentimes they'll say, well, yeah, $1,000 a rep. I probably could have got 2, 3, maybe even 5 more. That means you had 2 to 5 reps in reserve. If you can do another rep, I don't care if it's for $1 million. If you had been paid $1,000, could you have done another rep? If the answer is yes, you're not training all out.
Like once you got to that point, you could think about anything on this planet. Like you can't do it.
Well, he doesn't know. Mike Israetel, he speaks Russian. And so when you curse in Russian and you think in Russian, it comes out of you. You push harder.
So if you tell them to leave reps in reserve, they end up leaving too many reps in reserve. So if I tell them to leave 2 reps in the tank, and we have research now that shows this, they might leave 5, 6, 7 reps in the tank.
People have no idea how hard they're pushing. They just don't know. And so if you tell someone, yeah, don't go too hard, leave 1 or 2 reps in reserve, they're thinking, okay, and they stop 3 to 5 reps in reserve. And so it's better to say, go all out. Everything you got, because they'll still most likely stop with 3 reps in reserve.
Darker. Nah, bro, that's it. That's the end of the road right there.
Probably had like 5 more, but it's fine.
I mean, he literally had 12 more reps in the tank, according to Dr. Mike.
Let's do 1 more. And control it yourself.
And so you see Jeff assisting him doing forced reps. This is an excellent training technique. However, most people don't have a partner, and so they're not often able to do this. But one thing you could do with this exact motion is to just do partials reps at the end, or once you've completed as many reps as possible, you remove the weight and you continue. If you're doing a plate-loaded machine, lat pull-downs, for example, if you're doing 200 pounds, you could go for 8 reps, put the peg down to 170 and continue.
I mean, he literally might be 1 in a billion, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. There are 8 billion people on this planet, of which 4 are males, and you're trying to think, who is the best 19-year-old of all time? Is he, in fact, one of the best? If he's in the top 4, he's 1 in a billion. I do believe, most likely, there have been in this planet men with better physiques than this at 19. And so if you think about it, he's probably at least 1 in 100 million. I mean, how many 19-year-olds are out there and how many have this much muscle? If the answer is none, there are no men out there with this much muscle who are this lean, who are natural, then he's probably 1 in 100 million.
It's just math.
Yeah.
Like, someone has to be the best at it. Like, there's somebody who's the tallest. Yeah. There's somebody who's the oldest.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's math. It's statistics. Somebody has to be the best. And you're thinking, well, no, everyone's 1 in a million. No, but who do you think you're going to notice on social media? Are you going to notice all the average people? I mean, when you ask women to look at men, they only notice men who are 8, 9s, and 10s. Everyone else, they don't exist. If you're an average-looking guy of 5 and they look around, they don't see you. You don't exist. And if you're not 5'9", 5'10", you also don't exist. They're looking right over you. It's not your fault. They can't see you. And so when it comes to bodybuilders, when you look on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, you're seeing the top 1% of the top 1% of the top 1%, and it continues. That is why you know of Julian. If Julian's arms, his biceps were 3 inches smaller, it'd still be impressive, but you probably wouldn't have noticed him. And when I look at Julian's physique, it's great, it's impressive, but it really is the arms that makes him stand out. If Julian had normal-sized arms, perhaps not even normal, the size of Hussein or Jeff Nippard, he wouldn't stand out as much. And if you compare Julian to, for example, Hussein has wider shoulders, and Jeff Nippard, he has better shape. And so in a bodybuilding competition, once Julian's actually competing, his weaknesses will begin to be exposed. Guy like Chris Bumstead with much wider clavicles, he would make Julian look very, very tiny, despite the fact that in the future, he may have more muscles. And so if Julian's ambition is to be on the Olympia stage, he best not attempt to do it in classic physique. He's going to have to go into open, and he's quickly going to realize that because his shoulders aren't wide like Derek Lunsford or Sebum, it's going to be a hindrance, very difficult to move up the ladder.
Yo, let's go. Easy.
Was flying.
And even the way he's doing his pull-ups, you can see he's using mostly biceps. The size of his arms are taking over. And so Julian is going to have to work on relaxing those arms and using his back. If I was coaching Julian, I would say, look, your arms are impressive. You're never training them. There's no reason to train them. Great to have overdeveloped arms, but to have them too overdeveloped, it's distracting from the ref's physique. He needs to work on the lateral head of the shoulders. He needs to make them bigger than ever. That is by far his weakness. And so if he can focus on his weaknesses and maintain his strengths, his physique will get that much better.
This is probably my worst movement, like strength-wise.
Oh yeah, back?
Road. That's probably my weakest lift. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yes, it's interesting how some people are weaker in one area than the other. And although it's just the back, I was much stronger in the seated rows than Hussein, but he was stronger than me in the pull downs. And so even though your back is being worked for both of these positions, they are in fact different muscles.
Incline bench ever since I started training. So like that helped me grow my upper chest.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had the Jeff Nippard folder, so it helped a lot.
I love it, bro.
The Jeff Nippard folder. Somebody got to get access to his hard drive.
Okay.
There's no one optimal.
Yeah.
It depends on the person, their goals, and the context,
Yeah.
okay? So right now, as an advanced trainee who's trying to get shredded, I'm actually doing low volume training.
And so you can see, nothing is technically optimal. It depends on the person and their situation. Jeff is cutting, and so doing a lot of volume, although on paper would appear to be optimal, it's not for him. He doesn't have the energy, the calories, the ability to recover as quickly. His testosterone levels are perhaps a little bit lower from the cut. And so doing fewer sets, fewer volume with greater intensity on each of those sets works better for him. I'm doing that right now, and it's actually much more effective. If I were training the way I did in the past, 6 or 7 days a week, lots of volume, lots of intensity, I'm certain my muscles would be a lot smaller. You're thinking, how is it possible that you're building just as much muscle training twice a week as you would if you're training 6 to 7 days a week? Well, what's changed is I'm now a bike racer. I'm racing bikes, literally. I put over 1,000 watts for over 30 seconds winning my sprint in the bike yesterday. And so how do you think I'm going to be able to train legs, leg press, squats, leg extensions, all of that, and burn myself out in the gym and train and recover while continuing to race bikes? I'm riding bikes 6 to 7 days a week, oftentimes doing races, and so I simply can't handle the volume. And so by decreasing the volume and increasing the intensity on each and every set, I'm able to adapt to both and get the best of both worlds. Now, if I quit bike racing and wanted to be a bodybuilder, it would make sense to going back to training 3 or more days a week.
And so I think it just makes a lot more sense to keep the intensity really high and bring the volume back.
The volume down, yeah.
And bro, I've been feeling so good. Like, I love my workouts.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to get stronger.
Notice, he loves his workouts, he's getting stronger. What else do you need to know? If you're getting stronger and you're loving your workouts, your muscles look good, then keep doing what you're doing. One thing that would help Jeff most certainly is if he was using Turk Builder Max or Turk Platinum. I mean, he's able to maintain a lot of muscle, 155 pounds while dieting, but imagine if he added in a Juga Turkistanica, the #1 natural muscle building supplement in the world. Many people think it's creatine. Creatine is nothing in comparison to this. The average study shows you gain, what, 2 or 3 pounds of water/muscle on creatine in a year? Well, that's all right. Do you know how much better you feel training in the gym? The strength, the energy, your ability to recover? It's through the roof. And not only in the gym lifting weights, also doing cardio. And speaking of cardio, we got you covered with GO2 Max. This absolutely incredible. Jeff's testosterone levels were on the low side in the 400s. He could, of course, be using G-Test Platinum. And the hardest part of cutting for most people is that you're starving, your cravings are through the roof. And so if you were to add in GLP Max, reduce your cravings by 28%, you're less hungry, go from an 8 out of 10 hunger to a 6, much easier to put the fork down and stick to your diet. And so if you're interested in any of these supplements, code Greg, 15% off.
There's a study that showed when subjects drop their volume down to 1/9 of their baseline volume, they still maintain their muscle mass. Isn't that crazy?
And so I'm not aware of that exact study. He says you can do 1/9 of what you're used to doing and keep all the muscles that you had. And so if you're doing 9 sets per week, what that would mean is if you cut it down to 1 and maintain the muscles that you built. I personally have done research on this, and I do believe it's 1/3. Perhaps newer research shows you only need 1/9, but I would not cut my sets down from 9 to only 1. I've cut my sets down to about 1/3. Remember, I used to train 6 or 7 days a week. I'm now training 2. It's about 1/3, and I feel like I've been able to maintain all of my muscle considering I'm only on HRT. It's a lot harder to build up your muscle than it is to keep it. Train really hard when you're young. Put in the work. Perhaps train for 10 or 15 years. Approach your natural genetic limit, and once you're there, once you're happy with your physique, you can cut it down to 1/3. Add in 6 or 7 days of cardio and race against Coach Greg while having a lot of muscle. This is how it works.
In this area right here. Good squeeze. Hold the squeeze for 1 to 2 seconds. I want you to squeeze for 2 seconds at the top, okay? 1, 2, down.
And so it's important to really get the stretch, deep stretch at the bottom. Don't cut it short. And really squeeze at the top. Take your time on the eccentric, the part where the muscle's getting longer, and go quicker with more power and more speed on the concentric, where the muscle is shortening. I do think that Hussein's form, his technique, is better than Julian. Julian appears to be leaning back ever so slightly throughout the entirety of the motion. I believe it's good to slightly lean past vertical in the stretch position, get a really good stretch right here, and on the way back, lean back no more than 10 degrees. I often see guys doing this, and I think they're doing the walk away. They lean back, and do the rock away.
Lean back, lean back, come on.
I used to take them all the way through, and I do get what you mean with the trap activation. So you do them like this?
I do actually, come all the way across.
I feel it, I definitely feel it.
Amazing.
And so essentially they're trying to make this an optimal exercise because when you basically do this motion, you're not getting enough of a stretch. From here to here, there's less range of motion, but when you turn to the side, it's stretching the delt, allowing you to go through the full range of motion. Remember, we're trying to get a stretch. And so by doing the exercise like this, you have the advantage of getting the stretch. Now, the disadvantage is you have to do one side and then the other. I hate this. I almost never do one arm at a time. If I have to concentrate on doing this for 30 or 40 seconds and then stop and do this again on the other side, it's taking forever. And so remember when Jeff said an optimal workout is one that you enjoy? I don't enjoy it. I, in fact, hate it. And so if I had to do one body part at a time, right arm then left, right shoulder then left, right leg then left leg, I would hate it and I wouldn't train. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. And don't forget, Momentous is now live. Go and get Momentous clothing. Momentous clothing from Hussein Farhad, Eric Janicki, and myself. You gotta get the clothing. And if you're interested in getting blood work done, of course, get and reach out to Algo RX. I'm now a part owner of Algo RX. Qualified doctors will assess your blood work, find out exactly what you need. And so if you're interested, click the link in the bio. And of course, coaching plans by me and my team. If you want to get coached by the best coaches in the world, you know what to look for. Coach Greg, of course, Coach Greg. And for the cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet book, everything, don't forget to enter code Greg to save yourself 15%. And until next time, I am out.